Ladies and gentlemen of the audience of the Caffeinated Podcast, we're back down to zero. 0 days of no nonsense. For some reason, my mic ain't working, and it's been a tiresome 40-minute process. But you know what? We're here. We're going to make the best of it, and we go from here. Teach, how are you, buddy?
Fine. It's just gonna be a quick episode. Sorry if
Better, you're
anybody's
doing better than me.
disappointed. This is stuff we're gonna possibly look into in the future. Maybe we need to change up some things. So, what are we doing first, Relly?
So we got Ulti Supps here today. So my thought is, let's start something off a little fun. How about orange cream?
Sure.
So, Teach, do you have anything to say to the people?
No.
All right. I'm happy to have this today.
So I wish they shown online their new label. Oh, there it is. I gotta zoom in like a mother.
So,
Oh, and that hardly
Favorite Wolves,
see the
aka
image.
the great of the show, says that this was his favorite of at least the big three.
I am 500% zoomed in. Why can't I in-depth view your image more, Ulti? I feel like I gotta be a boomer to look in and see what our new formula is. Let me click on the image.
I agree. Yeah, that's. Although, you know what I'm actually very impressed about? You know how there's all of these. Oh,
Holy shit. Okay, I got it, but not great. So with the new formula from when we had Mr. Ulti CEO, I wish I could remember his name off the top. Chuck. When we had Chuck in the show. They switched up to a new formula. They now have new level in them. It's still gluten-free, sugar-free, organic caffeine, vegan-friendly, clinically dosed, soy-free. It looks like there's 40 servings per container, 0 grams of sugar. There's 50 milligrams of theobromine, which is nice. I can make that one out. There's... So unless these are 2 scoops in each...
There are 2 scoops in every bag, yes.
Okay. Yeah, because
I double-checked the letter today because I knew that bag was compact.
Well, I'm just saying, because 1 scoop is 110, 2 scoops is 220. I got the picture of the tub pulled up, but it's not great.
Also, if we go to the orange cream on the website, the orange creamsicle, 386 reviews. This community is a lot bigger than I thought. Because there's not a lot of people that have a lot of reviews on their tubs, you know what I mean? Like, search up any other energy drink and how many have like a couple hundred reviews on their flavors, particularly fruit flavor.
No, you gotta look into it a little bit because some websites will just put their general reviews on there, not actually particular to that said flavor. So that's one thing you have to look at and be careful of.
View all reviews. So
all I'm saying is that horchata strong AF because this whole bag smells like cinnamon.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like Juju total reviews is 1,596. This flavor's been out for what, a month? And it's already got a couple hundred?
Yeah, but is it the flavor itself?
Yes.
I don't think it is, buddy. It just says all of them is 386.
Ah, never mind. Okay. Yeah, that's That's so misleading. Why do you do that?
Many companies do that. Even G Fuel does that. Many companies have it where like the entirety of their reviews are in total.
Ah, what a
Specifically.
fugaze. What a fugaze. I mean, like I said, I got a lot of respect for Chuck, but I mean, that's it. Again, constructive criticism. Why?
Shit, hit that comment to G Fuel first because they did that for the longest time. Many companies do that.
Why? And again, that just goes with everybody. Why? Why?
Well, let's without further ado, I guess let's
I
try
got
it.
all of them mixed up myself. I got the horchata in the black, and then I got the. We'll save the other one for last. The tropical storm, the white. All right, you ready for this orange cream?
Yep.
Ooh. All right. Cheers. Smooth. Did you add the whole bag in yours, or?
Yep.
All right,
I
let me do
I don't. Oh, I say, how many ounces of water did you do?
16.
Same. So if you didn't add the whole bag,
Let me add the rest of the bag then and give
then I
this.
want. Well, I'm just saying I want to know your. I added the whole thing to 16 ounces and it's very watered down. And you're saying it's smooth. So were you just tasting water with a touch of orange
Well,
peel? Or did they just?
we're about to find out. Although I did notice a little bit of an orange peel, which is usually nice because a lot of times it's just like, oh, citrus. I usually don't taste the orange peel. Usually in like these orange flavors, they just want to knock it as quote unquote citrus and call it a day.
Now, for the record, because I have to make the joke, we weren't paid under the table by Chuck to say use code Faber Walls for trying these samples or anything. Because I definitely have some thoughts on this.
So compared to it could be because of the. Let's see if there's any powder. Huh. There's a little bit of stuff on the bottom.
I want you to be real honest with this now.
So constructive criticism. I do like it. I do love how it. I do taste the orange peel with a little bit of cream. Just in my personal opinion, I think it's too light.
Way too late. Beyond too late. This tastes like nothing when we sampled the lemon drop and then the other one. And I get that's a whole new formula, which is like understandable, but the flavor is beyond light. I feel like I'm literally drinking water with a splash of Mio. I hardly get any cream. The orange is technically there, but it's very underwhelming.
Now, seeing me, I get more orange than cream.
That's what I'm saying. I hardly get any cream, and I get a very small, underwhelming amount of orange.
The orange, I'm content with.
You're
It's
content with?
no, in what I'm tasting, the orange, I'm content with. Yes. Do I want more cream? Do I want more sweetness? And do I want a little bit stronger? The answer is yes.
That I feel like you're not being not like really. We are mixing the same amount of powder and the same amount of water. This literally tastes like an orange peeled flavored water. Is it smooth? Sure, but the flavor is so underwhelming. I cannot stress that enough.
Doesn't mean that I'm going to get high on the flavor board, though. If I had to be realistic, I'd probably say 3 stars. So I'm going with horchata next, Teach.
So for the other reference, I did mine a tall boy, 16 ounces. I have shaken this thing many times, and I still have powder at the bottom, which you can still
Yes.
see.
Yes. So what's your ranking on this, Teach?
All right. I just want to be fair. Giving it a 5 because it's not
I
terrible.
thought you were going to go 5, 6. So I mean, me and you are kind of in the same boat here. So I am nervous about trying anything with new level in it because I know how this goes, and I feel like everyone, when it comes to a certain flavor, they set a certain bar. Me personally, when I think of orange cream, especially since many brands are jumping on that said bandwagon, I feel like that's, G Fuel did it. I Advanced GG might do it. Other brands are trying it. Dubby did it. So I mean, when I saw orange creamsicle, I'm like, okay, it's on. Let's go for it. So again, I lack a little bit of the cream. To me, it's too light. I think it needs to be a little bit more sweet. Do
Same.
I like it? Yes. Can I go out of my way for it? I can't say I can. Am I in love with it? I can't say I am. So, but at the end of the day, for me, I haven't actually said it was bad and I can finish it. So, in all fairness, I think it's a 3 star.
I
And
think you're being a
I
little
think
too fair on it
you think I'm being a little too fair on it.
because there's no even taste of new level of here. It's literally just flavored like very underwhelming flavored water. You don't get much cream. It literally just tastes like you put an orange peel in water. And I get this is their new formula.
Yes. So I mean, I understand where me and you are thinking different here. So again, right? Did I think this was going to be more towards a 4+ category? Yes. Do I think that the accuracy of the flavor that's being told is not accurate? I think the profile is not accurate. I think I would call this orange peel, personally.
Like
Just personally.
the orange is not bad, but I hardly get any cream and it is so underwhelming in flavor.
Actually, hold on, just to get to an audience member, if I could have my mouse not get on something. So RWC, I actually
I'll dump
received
it for
from
horchata.
yep, go for it. So RWC, I actually from a fan of the show, and I actually bought something for him. I actually recently now Teach didn't actually get these, and I was very skeptical, but he bought a tub of the mixed starfruit. So the mixed starfruit blast. So I was very skeptical because the way that I would go about this, and mind you, you're paying the same amount for a tub, and I'm not sure if this was single scoop or double scoop or whatever, but can you taste that it's a cheaper quality than the other stuff you're going to have compared to your G Fuel, your Advanced GG, your Juju, all those companies. Ghost and Powder, yes, it is a cheaper product, and the quality is not as there. I mean, it does have like that, almost like a dollar store quality Kool Aid type of thing. But in actuality, I can't say I hated it. So I mean, the mixed starfruit blast. I mean, I'll just straight up tell you, if you can get your hands on G Fuel starfruit, that's what you want to go with. But if you have that in front of you, it slightly bridges the gap. And to be fair, some people said mix it in 8 ounces. I mixed mine with 16, and I just sipped it gradually throughout my night. That's what I did personally.
So, to be fair, I feel like horchata is going to be a flavor that we are trying in water, and we won't be able to give it honest justice because this is probably honestly a milk flavor.
Although, you know, every time I think of this flavor, you know who I think of too?
Camper?
No,
No,
believe it
I
or
don't
not,
know.
actually.
Oh,
Yes.
so I put in 14 ounces of water this time.
All right. I'm a slammer, not a sipper. Maybe that's why. Well, dude, if you're gonna want to chug it and you're just gonna be like, "Damn, it's chalky," well, everybody's different, man. Like me, I tried that. It was a Friday night. My objective was to write a little bit, clean the garage, and see how it goes. And me, well, I actually fell asleep at my desk, and I left my shaker. I think I actually had a little too much caffeine last Friday night, but yeah.
Doing this for a point.
So my
Nope.
own thought is, I feel like this is a milk flavor, so I feel like this is gonna be. I feel like this is gonna be incomplete on our end.
Yep.
Yeah, there's gonna be residue at the bottom.
Yeah, but that's points you got to take away because it should dissolve well. Especially when you're doing 14 to 16 ounces of water, plenty of headroom for mixing. Like having that much or leftover powder is not a good thing.
I will say, out of all the drinks that we cover in powder form, the if we go by mixing well, the ones that I'm probably the most pleased with is between, I want to say between Glitch and Gamer Subs. Advanced GG will taste powdery at times. Juju, because of their earthiness, it will leave a little bit on the bottom. G Fuel, it's self explanatory.
So, disclaimers out there. This is horchata now by Ulti, and we do both recognize this probably should be put in milk because this is probably a milk flavor. But in all of our tests that we do for anything, we always go with water because that is the constant, easiest, best denominator for testing. That is something in our control.
So, question, between everything we've had on this show or we discussed on this show from G Fuel and the works, how many times have you actually said, yeah, this needs to be in milk? Sorry.
We've said it for a few, but not many.
Definitely not many. And there's some where I feel like it's going to be either or. Like, for example, one popular opinion, and this actually worked with a coworker of mine, strawberry banana. He did not like it in water. I told him mix up with milk, and he goes, "Hey, this is a good milkshake that I could have at home while I'm playing Call of Duty." Thanks, dude. And here we are. So, you ready?
Yep.
Cheers for good times, Monday nights, and same brand shakers with not being paid under the table.
There's still so much powder left over.
Agreed.
So much.
So again, if we do have Chuck on this show, again, constructive criticism, and it did take a long time to get these products, and he is a man of his word. So cheers. Taking a sip. This is definitely not for me. I said this with Juju's horchata.
Not for me either. Now, that makes it somewhat inconclusive in a way, because neither of us are just a fan of horchata, but to the same extent, it's still just that very watery flavor.
You know, this one I think actually works. I think it works a little bit better, I guess, for me. Uh, so the only other brand that I know of that makes a horchata is Juju. And to Brian, the audience, who just asked the question, I prefer Juju's personally. And again, I if you want to go by how this flavor should properly be graded, it should be in milk. But I do have to grade it in water. And with everything I say here, right, I'm going to give this 2 stars out of 5.
I think this is one of the very few and very small and only times I will honestly rate it as inconclusive, because I
I've
do
never
definitely
heard.
feel like I
I've
feel like
never
this
heard
definitely
this.
needs milk. And if I truly rate it on the water scale, it definitely wouldn't be great. We have had flavors in the past from different companies where it can be a good flavor in both water and in milk. But I truly do believe this is a milk flavor. Otherwise, in water, this tastes like it is literally just water, and somebody took a cinnamon stick and you put it in the water, and it has sat in there for some time.
So it kind of looks like somebody, you know how somebody spills the pepper shaker or the salt shaker? It's like somebody did that with your water. It sat there. You brought it to work by accident, and you're just kind of like, "Whoa, what's this?" So I mean,
It does look like there's actually like little cinnamon pieces in there,
oh, you
but for
got it.
reference, like with any brand, you shouldn't have to have ice to break all this up, because I don't even think ice breaks that up. And we do have to dock points where points are docked. Like, we give credit where credit's due, dock points. And Ulti, when we tried
Hey,
Lemon
Ray,
Drop,
thanks, bro. Rocking Carl Anthony Towns jersey.
that stuff was good. It broke up well, but new formula, they may have to go back to the drawing board a little bit.
So this is the one I think I've been waiting for personally.
Don't get too hyped now.
I'm not getting hyped. I'm just saying this was the one that. So again, I give Ulti credit because if you go by a smaller company, now I understand there's a couple of different companies that, and by smaller, one that's not as known, I guess you can say, because there's some people that have been on this podcast, and for the record, some people haven't heard of Juju Energy, but they've been to TwitchCon. They've had a booth at TwitchCon, which you gotta be known for something and have a decent amount of money to go to TwitchCon, which that whole thing is a debacle for later, but
All
still.
right.
But what
I
I
went
like,
down.
I was happy about this Teach because this is, as we stand, the only competitor for Miami Knights. Now, so far, I think Miami Knights is still going to take the crown, but
I
I
now
was
have.
very hopeful because if we went by V1 formula, if they did V1 formula with these flavors here that we were trying tonight, they would knock this out of the friggin' park.
I did go with 12 ounces this time. So we started at 16, still too watery. Now we went down to 14, still too watery. Now we're going down to 12. I want to give Chuck credit where credit's due, and we got to dock a point where Ulti's got to be docked points. This doesn't mix up well. When we had first tried the V1 with lemon drop and the other flavor, there was a lot of flavor to it, like pack a punch flavor.
That lemon drop was right there, just pang.
And this has
that
been the exact opposite.
blue raspberry. Now, where'd you rank that blue raspberry and all the blue ras powders you've tried?
I don't quite recall. It's not top 3, but then again, like every company has one. Like it's solid. It was fine. It was good. Like it was anywhere in high regards.
To me, I think it's second place because I take the Juju blue raspberry. I will say if the tub is not on the fresher side, it gets too earthy. It's just how the tubs age because of the sulfurs in it, especially that black powder extract. When that thing ages a little bit, oh man, you get it. But Ulti Supps, it was sweet and it was smooth.
I think,
but to battle it though, Glitch Snarf Juice, it does keep it right there. It's close.
Regardless of that, Chuck is in a good but bad part right now with Ulti because they're still in the early stages to where they can go back and they can see what they need to adjust with this and possibly put out a 1.5 or another update. Because I'm going to be fair and honest with anything that we try. I don't feel like there's a reason to sugarcoat it. If something's good, I'm going to tell you it's fantastic. If it's not good, it's not good. We give credit, we dock points. Like, I'm going to sit here and shake this up. This should not need ice. It should not need anything else to fully dissolve it. And if you're still having a large part of your powder left over and it doesn't fully dissolve, that's saying something.
Oh yeah, I forgot to add the rest of this bag. I'm an idiot.
Especially when when the flavor is so watery tasting with 2 scoops, that also is saying a lot. And then if the argument is then made that like you need more water, I first did it in 16 and it tasted nothing but water, but with a touch of orange. And with more water, then yes, you should have had more available space for the powder to break up. Still did not.
Now, I'm skeptical about this one for you, just simply because this does contain coconut.
I'm not worried about that part right now.
You're worried about the actual formula itself and how it mixes, or
not the formula, but the general, like it just out of everything we've tried so far, it is just a general. I am drinking water that has had X whatever dipped into it, like horchata. Sure, it's probably more of a milk flavor, but it literally tastes like water with a cinnamon stick inside. The first one with the orange, I got no cream. It literally took like you took an orange peel and you're trying to make an old fashioned. You thought you'd be cutesy by, rinsing out the orange peel and then throwing it in there. No, it literally tasted like water, but with a hint of orange. And, for some, you may love that. You may love that. You may want it to be a quick slammer. You may want it to be just your water with a hint of flavor and it tastes like the best thing ever. But I don't feel like that's truly what attracts people to a product.
I will say, I could listen to you talk about how people make cocktails for quite some time.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. Some of the most memorable moments me and you have had, not just on this show, but off screen as well. It's like talking about cocktails. Like, I mean, no mint in the mojito, the orange with the old fashioned, like I don't know most of these cocktails unless I watch like a bar show. I'm a big fan of Bar Rescue. But outside of that, it's like I can't tell you what's in a gimlet or a Sex on the Beach or anything like that.
Now, to give credit, with this new line of 3 flavors, Ulti did change up their formula. There is no more dyes in there, which is a plus. But what happened to the flavors?
Wait a minute. Isn't there... I think there's no more melted dextrin in there as well.
Is that a thing?
Yes. So I believe melted dextrin is not in here as well. I think it was from a wellness standpoint because we've talked about melted dextrin and we did talk about the dyes, and I remember Chuck shaking his head and be like, it is a decision that we are going to have to debate if we're going to do it again. I believe he was saying that he was going to be taking those out, which, to his credit, he did. But also, we got to just go back to it. And when you take out maltodextrin, the taste also is going to be much different.
Depends, because I can tell you right now, and I'm not even trying to plug stuff, but this is just a straight caffeinated review thing. I can tell you a company that doesn't have maltodextrin and actually is packed full of flavor, exactly, and doesn't taste like something in water.
Now, glitch does have that almost chemical like taste to it,
It does not
but
have a chemical like taste to it. It has a
I
fragrance, but it doesn't have a chemical like taste.
I this is the last glitch I take. It might be the cosmic candy that does it, but yes. You see, Lou's the man of culture right here. He's talking about John Tapper. He's a fan too. I actually own his book. It's called "Don't Bullshit Yourself," and it's about if anyone's got a film business or a film bar, go read it. And I haven't read the thing front to back. I don't remember everything, but it is inspirational. It is phenomenal. It's a good piece of art. So, Teach,
Nope.
you ready? Cheers. Damn. Now, mind you, I'm in 16 ounces. I wish I did like a 12, but
I did 12, and it's still the same. It's just water. It's just water, but whatever what fruit you put in here, you had the fruit sit over in a jar overnight, and it just steeped a tiny bit of flavor. It's just water.
it does taste like a detox water. You're right.
And even with less water, now I'm getting more of the chalky taste. But even with more water, it just tastes more watered down, and there's still remaining leftover chalk. Like honestly, when we had the first two flavors from Ulti, we were quite impressed, and we were hoping them the best for this new formula. But I cannot rate these highly.
So, like I said with the orange cream, this to me is 3 stars. I did expect much more. Do I think that this is a competitor for Miami Knights? I want to. I again, I'm sitting down. I'm not at work. I'm not at my. I'm not at my. I'm not hitting the keys on my website or in my Word document, slamming the keys like no tomorrow, trying to put a novel together because that's just my craft. I can't tell you performance wise how this can go. That is to be determined, especially since I'm going to be taking one of these to work. And it's funny because the new guy I'm working with, he's mixing in between one day it's Monster, one day it's Celsius. And he's like, yeah, well, the Celsius is a little better for you. And I'm like, stow it. It tastes like crap. Taste wise, okay, not good.
Honestly, for all three of these, if you want something that tastes like water, it's incredibly smooth because it's basically water, but with a hint of flavor. Maybe try it. Maybe if they have sample packs. I honestly don't think it's great because anytime you think it's something you want kind of more actual punch of flavor, like almost to a weird extent, it kind of reminds me of Freshen Up, where their stuff is extremely light, but at least you get more flavor from Freshen Up than this. It,
Speaking of
and it also took me 3 scoops of Raven's Blood to get the full flavor I was wanting.
speaking of freshen up, um, so I actually believe that Jordan, I'm not sure what creators he's talking to. I'm not sure if it's his team or some streamers, but so if anyone, because I'm not sure how up to date anybody is, but if anyone remembers Angel, who we've had on the show, we are not officially. I want to get the tub here sometime, but he actually is collaborating with a buddy of his called they call him Donkey for short. I think it's Donkey Door TV, something like that.
Door
But
Donkey, they got a flavor together. It's passion fruit.
yes, so passion fruit is the flavor. It's a dual flavor, and they are actually autographing that and shipping that to me, and I'm going to be trying it here on the show live. So I have no idea how it will taste, but again, I thought this was up my alley. I think it's going to be just something different, something unique. But at this moment in time, Teach, I think you know what's kind of the high standard right now for the passion fruit.
Do I?
You tell me.
No passion fruit really comes to a straight passion fruit. Nothing comes to mind.
Straight passion fruit, no. But if we talking to something that has passion fruit in it, the gold standard's on your desk somewhere.
Oh, sure, but that's just a straight. That's different. That's just a straight passion fruit. The one you're
Well, I
thinking of.
mean, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, I remember trying Code Vein, and I remember it was something a little bit than just passion fruit.
So in the end, I think Ulti needs to go back to the drawing boards. They still have time. Try to make it more like the V1. Dissolve better, more flavor, less water.
And again, if anyone wants to talk about like certain flavors that could be, because I mean, I do feel like some companies are going to try and say, "Hey, we want to be the best at making this flavor." Some people are wondering about cans. Some people are wondering about this. Like, it's also nice when you see people that aren't being repetitive. Like, if we take glitch crack sauce, blueberry pomegranate, I'm not seeing it anywhere else. We go to, some are having sour candies. It's supposed to be like a sour gummy bear or sour Skittles ish type of flavor. I commend you for trying. Haven't tried it yet, but I commend you. These strawberry mangoes, or I'm sorry, raspberry mangoes. I'll try it. I mean, these different combinations and such. Or better yet, a regular raspberry. Outside, I don't think, does anyone make a regular raspberry? Outside the Tetramino?
I don't think anybody does this straight raspberry that I can think of in powder form.
The only thing I can think of is Sour Power, but it's regular raspberry, but it's, oh wait, Gamer Supps, red raspberry.
Ah,
That's right.
they
That's
did
right.
do that, yeah.
The only one on the market. I can't
Yep.
believe I forgot about that. But again, only one. Now, some people, they're going to say, to me, I think it's just okay. But sometimes you just need a comfort flavor. There's so many things to do. Now, if I were to, now, this is just on the record or off the record, people. Teach and I, we've been asked this so many times, but let's just be real with everybody. We do not have the money, the time, or the desire to create an energy drink brand or a
Oh,
product.
well, the biggest thing there out of all those options is the money.
But even so, dude, just all this time, and again, we've talked to these CEOs, and we, I don't think me and you combined, even if we had a bunch of our great people helping us, I just don't see realistically, would we start a supplement brand or an energy drink company? The answer is no. But we kind of know the steps that kind of go with it by now. And I think number one is basically your formula. You get that in order, and then you go with flavors. So my thought is, if your formula is good, like that is your bread and butter, the meat of the patty. And then the flavor is your lettuce, tomato, ketchup. Crucifixion, if you don't like those, freaking work
Hmm.
here. So it's like, hey, this is the formula. This is what I like. So I do a lot of mixing. I know you primarily drink glitch. But let's say we go with a brand like Rise. I know it's a can, but let's just stay on task here. Let's say Rise goes, hey, we want to make a pixie stick collab. We want to do a blue pixie stick. The formula is great. We know what we're doing. How's this flavor going to come out? And if it ends up being too sweet, oh well. It's not a formula shift, it's just the flavor itself.
But the one thing there that it has been proven, it has been shown and videotaped, is that Rise does vigorous testing of flavors. The owner himself will have multiple people try the flavor, and if there's any slight little bit they don't like about it, they send it back. They will not release it until they feel it is 100% perfect and is 100% on the mark.
Yes. And that's one thing you got to give credit to these brands for, yes. Now, granted, I have no idea how much money and time it takes to make a can. I mean, we're just people that look at the market, see what is writing on the wall of what's the open door of like what's up for grabs. Like, could you see Rise doing a what am I thinking? Imagine they did Welch's grape soda.
Yeah, and they probably do a very good grape.
Oh, if there's one company I could trust making a good grape, it's probably Rise. Rise or Red Bull.
Yeah, but Red Bull is still going to have that Red Bull-y taste.
True. And the only reason I said Red Bull is because they got one released in Japan. I know. I'd love to try that, but I'm not calling I'm not pulling up the stops. It's like if I'm going to talk to my associates in Japan, it's not going to be over a freaking Red Bull can. I can tell you that much. Could you imagine? It's just like hi. It's like hi. How's it going? It's just like hey, any chance you could ship me? Ah, I if I'm going to talk to them about shipping me something, and I got that kind of money, I better be rich as hell and be talking about the R34 Skyline. Come on, man.
Well, Miss Shirley, any other major news?
Uh, Major news. Trying to think. Oh,
Like
yes,
anything of actual noteworthy?
yes, yes. So, if anybody was around, this is going back to what we call Glitch V2. Let me shut this off for a moment. That's annoying. It's in my freaking ear, the air conditioner. I'll live. My bad. If anyone has been around for Glitch V2, this was the Pro Series at the time. So, if you remember some of our recommendations, we were disappointed to see some flavors leave. And when they were on clearance, some of the flavors got scooped right up. One of them is back.
Really? Are you getting paid under the table for saying this? Like, I'm not even saying this. I feel like you're the one getting paid under the table.
Hell to the no.
Okay. Let's not
Hell to the no.
let's not yell now with the webcam, like.
Hell to the no. So, what came back new and improved, and I'm not sure if this will give anybody else's vote of confidence.
I was
But
already a fan before. I got a tub on the way.
you do, sweet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, without further ado, I'm going to present my screen for this. The best, in our opinion, strawberry kiwi is back on the market. No new level. This should taste much better.
Paid advertising.
But last time I checked, this was the best strawberry kiwi on the market.
Yep. That's now part of the gaming line. And remember, Relly's the one saying this, so he's the one being paid under the table here, and he doesn't even have a code. But if Relly's paid advertisement there made you any bit curious to try it, You can use code TEACH and save 15%. Not 10, 15.
I mean, I'm just kind of keeping it real. I mean,
Are you
I
keeping
have
it
an
real or are
advertisement.
you obviously paid off right now?
I mean, my thought is I think I've been fair all the way around. But just like again, if anyone wants to talk about a pina colada strawberry, I'm gonna be like, hey dude, you have a favorite G Fuel creator? Well, everybody's the same right now. Go grab some Miami Nights if you can. Or heck, if you want to, buy my tub and I'll sign it for you, DM me on Twitter. Like, that sort of thing. It's like if somebody tells me, what's your favorite blue raspberry? Where can I buy it? I'm going to straight up tell you. It's like right now, there's a void on a few things, but I keep it real. I know that, there is a little bit of code going on here or there. But again, I like what I like and you like what you like.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that paid honor the table thing by that one guy who we saw for one show kind of
We have
sucks.
theories. We have theories.
We do have theories. We aren't going to say what some of these theories are because I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel or look like that one guy during these movies that has slept on his office couch for 3 days straight and drinking way too much coffee.
Just very odd they come in for one episode to say that. We
Spectacle.
have theories. We know other people have met.
Concern.
We know other companies have messengers out there, but we have theories, and that's all I will say.
Indeed. Although, I also find it very funny how there's some brands that do also do want to say, we'd like to collab with people, and you go, hey, the door's open for podcast time. Buddy, you haven't released a new flavor in quite a while. Your Twitter account is active, but not much else.
I will admit though, their social media manager does need a raise because they put out some funny shit.
Oh, he's phenomenal, but you know who I'm referring to.
Oh, I know who you're referring to.
I won't name drop. I'll just
I,
say this. We've said to multiple companies that our door is open, and we tell you what flavors are good and what's not. We appreciate gamer subs on this show. And again, it's not because of plot. It's because I had myself a great caffeinated grape juice, and ironically, I love how I told my sister and her dear friend, who's basically my sister because she's staying with us, that I enjoy something called titty milk.
what really
Which
means
do you
by
have any
plot
idea how? Do you have any
is
idea
that
how often that was?
he gave a fair review regardless of them sending us each packages for review because it was not paid off.
I mean, we've gotten our fair share of things to try. I mean, I actually told my coworkers, and they said, "Hey, how's the show going?" Because they'll ask occasionally. I told them last week that we tried the worst thing we've ever had on air, and they said, "What the hell is it?" And I said, "Bing," and they're like, "What the hell is
Oh,
Bing?"
I don't know, man. We still try glitch with an eye. I think glitch with an eye takes a cake for powder.
Well, I mean,
Bing was definitely the worst can.
Bing was the worst can as far as like worst. One thing I will say though, you feel gassy, like you somehow drank a ton of CO2 after drinking Bing. But after drinking Glitch Eye, you legit feel queasy.
You don't feel like you legit feel sick.
That's why I meant like you there's like slight nausea.
Oh yeah, easy shot. Bing was worse than Bang. I would rather drink a Bang than go back and drink a Bing.
So I
No
mean,
doubt.
but Bry's gonna say that Monster and Bang upset his stomach. So I mean, I think that's just different things for different people. Just saying. Everybody's gonna have their own preferences. I mean,
Bing is god awful. Tastes, everything. Bang isn't anything great, but I'd rather drink a Bang over a Bing.
Yes. And if I don't think I have a favorite bang personally, but I will say Citrus Twist is not bad. Lemon Drop is not bad. Their tea stuff is not that bad.
Plus, you know what Bang has that Bing doesn't?
What?
Super creatine.
Yeah,
It's not regular creatine, it's super creatine.
yeah. Let's see. By the way, if anyone wanted to see where we got some of the things from, at Soda Seekers on Twitter. So I actually just recently found them on Twitter before I was getting them from their Facebook page. Like I actually found out for those soda drinkers, Little Caesars is actually doing a exclusive with Pepsi. It's gonna be Pepsi Pineapple. Believe it or not, I'm actually okay with not trying that.
I did see that.
I
But
knew you.
that's not caffeinated.
I knew somebody was going to ask, but yes. Going through. Okay, so did you notice that there's a Swedish energy drink company that no one's ever heard of that's doing a collab with Final Fantasy 16?
No.
So there's this energy drink brand called PXL. So there's the flavors called, I think it's called, let's see, Icon, EIKON, Elixir. It's 200 milligrams of caffeine. The flavor is blueberry and raspberry. Swedish energy drink brand PXL has launched a new flavor in collaboration with Final Fantasy 16. At this time, there is no official US release planned. This was on the 21st. Now, again, so am I hyped about the collab? I'm a Final Fantasy guy. Am I very skeptical about the game because of what they did to Final Fantasy 15? Yes.
You shouldn't be.
I shouldn't be.
No, 16's incredible. But I'm more surprised G Fuel didn't try to hop in that bag and collaborate with Square Enix on Final Fantasy 16 because that
You know,
game is going to be Game of the Year. It is
you think
going
so?
to it's going to come down to Tears of the Kingdom and Final Fantasy 16. Mark my words. That game was incredible. Unless you are one of those Final Fantasy players that will not grow and will not evolve and will not unless you have a problem with it not being turn based and you can't handle normal kind of like open worldy ish combat, you may not like it. It's not turn based anymore. It was time for Final Fantasy to grow up.
Now, granted, right? I actually like a little bit of both. Just to be completely honest with you, because I do like the turn base. I hate it when I was a kid, but I'm all right with it. Simply because if anyone wants to talk about a good turn based game series, Legend of Heroes, if you want to go by my favorite series, Trails of Cold Steel. Not paid advertisement, but
Right.
that's what I go with. But the only reason I think so, I mean, there's been so many companies that everyone's like, hey, is G Fuel going to finally collab with these? I mean, Genshin Impact, they could have done that 2 years ago if they wanted to. I think at least maybe they were skeptical, maybe they didn't know, maybe they thought it was going to fade out. I don't know. But going further into this, right? Like just Boog Nass brought up, Diablo 4 didn't have a collab. It's because of the Diablo mobile game was a flop, and they said there's no way we could do this again. I don't know. Like there's, I can't tell you the partnerships there because the Rick and Morty thing obviously expired because Pickle Rick didn't happen. It was generic pickle juice. The
I think
Spider-Man collab seemed to expire because their hydration got reskinned to just bubblegum lemonade. It's no longer the Spider-Man, skin on it. I
there's a
mean,
lot of different multitude to that.
yeah, there's a lot of politics involved with it, but somebody actually thought that G Fuel and Square Enix could potentially go around. Somebody was trying to talk about this. I think Kingdom Hearts 3 was too early. Although, spoiler, I think that was a disappointment, in my opinion, Kingdom Hearts 3. And somebody's going to either agree with me or say, you're a pompous ass and you don't know what you're talking about. But that's all good. But I just think that there's certain things that even for G Fuel is off the table. Square Enix is one of them. Mario is the second. Pokemon is the third.
And on that note, that was a very odd and spontaneous episode 80. We did have technical difficulties. We will try to have it resolved for next week's episode. So apologies for the lateness. That is something that I always hate is when we're late because I like to be right on time at 7. But nonetheless, we mainly tried. Ulti tonight. Thank you to our audience member Britt Faverwolves for sending us samples. I think I can speak for us both. TLDR, Ulti, go back to the science board. Go back to the board. Try to make it so it can dissolve more. Make it so it doesn't just taste like water with a hint of something. Otherwise, we apologize for the lateness. We'll try to be more on top of it and ready for next week's episode, episode 81. We appreciate everybody's here. We appreciate everybody that waited for us to go live.
So with that, everybody, please, because of the weather going on, stay dry. And then, as procedure, stay safe, stay healthy, and always stay caffeinated. I'm going to grab another one of these and then get to my desk. We love you all. Comment freely. Share this freely. And if there's any more bold takes, please let us know on our Twitter account. Follow it for obvious reasons. See you next week, everybody.